Rezo anafaa cheze kadi zake safe.
At this point hakuna kucheza kadi safe. Hakuna kucheza kadi safe. Because at the end of the day, for the longest time, people used tribalism, people used all these things to try and divide the nation.
True.
But there's one thing which you are seeing right now.
Unit.
We don't care about tribalism, we don't care about where you're coming from, and we don't care if you are, I don't know, from, we don't care about all that. All we care about is the well-being of our people. And at this point, you can't use any form of weapon to come and try and divide these people. Because we have the power of social media in terms of connecting the numbers. Yeah. And there is this one MP who stood in parliament. Now audacity. At this is not happening. This is fake. They're trying to use fake photos and videos. And I'm sure, Sai, as Gen Zs, we are even looking at the potential. We are not just fighting for nothing. We actually are supposed to even start putting structures in place to make sure hakutakuwa na watu sasa wenye watatokea ati mimi ndo nakuwa leader. We don't want, we will choose the leader that we want. Actually, I see the work that Eric Omondi does for the people out here on social media. True. And I made a video saying I wouldn't want Eric Omondi to join politics. And I stick to that statement in terms of I wouldn't want Eric Omondi to join politics with the systems that we have in place right now.
Piga Babu na Mwamba 10-0. Akakuja kapiga William Ruto. He embarrassed the president himself, but he did not embarrass him president. The president is a liar. That is the whole truth.
I am saying this without fear of any contradiction. Let me tell you something. How much money do you think these people spend during campaigns for them to become elected in the seats?
Trillions.
How much money do you think a president will need? The deputy, the ease of attitude fike kwa MCA, these people spend a lot of money. Where do you think they get that money from? One thing I know for sure, we as Gen Zs, if we put our structures and our systems in place vizuri, inamaanisha, we can have our own party with the people we support.
Wakipitisha finance bill on Tuesday, what do you think may happen? Sai wakisign na president aende apige sahi amwe that this is now the official finance bill. What do you think is going to happen to Kenya? Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love. Nyini watu true sana. And on our today's story, we're talking about trending issue during the week. Before tuendelee, haya, tuko na leo guest.
Pige intro. Dedicate in the building, guys. I hope you're ready to have this discussion as a Gen Z representative. Lazima tuongee hapa. Namsho mmeniona bibi episode nyingine moja mbili umeonekana, lakini umepotea, sijui ulikuwa umepotelea wapi, but sijui ulikuwa maandamano. Everything imekuwa fiti, but umeona venye gava inatupeleka sijui aje, inatufanya aje. Because tuingie story ya gava, leo tunataka tukuwe na discussion 2-3 venye Kenya inaendelea. Tuanze na story ya Andrew Kibe. Unaona tuongelea story ya Andrew Kibe, that is the first story that we are going to tackle. Tuongelee story ya Eric Omondi yenye alikuwa arrested jana na alikuwa na tribute ya bro yake, unaona? Then tuongelee story fulani yenye tunataka kuongelea story ya gava au MP yenye tuliwapatia kiti. Mimi na feel mimi asa the first unit of Gen Z 1997 au the first unit of Gen Z na feel gava inatupeleka vibaya sana. Hiyo tutaongelea tujue shida ni gani na gava, nini wanataka, unaona? So tuanze na historia ya Andrew Kibe. Unaona aje history? Juu siku ya kwanza Andrew Kibe alikuwa na support gava. Unakumbuka hadi kuna interview fulani aliita kina Boniface Mwangi wakatoka. Andrew Kibe alikuwa na support gava kwa kila kitu alikuwa na lamba gava. And watu walikuwa na simp to the government.
Bana, sasa ukiona jamaa amekaa, humble, amesema hii maandamano ya Tuesday which is the final, anatokea.
I've never been so glad. I've never Andrew Kibe unajua anasema pioneers nigga, unasikia
controversial.
Sasa hii ndo amejiita I'm the pioneers nigga. That was so entertaining to see because at the end of the day, for me this is a good thing. Because at the end of the day mtuka Andrew Kibe, he's ako kwa limelight. Kumaanisha kuna numbers. Kumaanisha he is influential. If he's saying I'm taking a step and actually I'm now joining this Gen Z force and you are ready as Gen Zs and millennials to join hands and make sure things are coming to work in our own way. Inamaanisha yeye na numbers zenye amebeba wote wanakuja. The more people we want, atukatazi watu kutujoin on this. We want as many people as they can to come and join us. Lakini Andrew Kibe, good thing umejirealize mapema before vitu
amejiredeem. Unaona amejiredeem because it's too late, because before it's too late. Unaona hapo amefanya kitu fiti kujiredeem. vizuri sana. Mimi naweza sema I was a big follower of Andrew Kibe back then. Venye alikaa Mkenya nikaona nika jamaa ameanza sasa kulamba serikali sana. Yani anafanya kitu ni kama anaogopa serikali. You remember the story of Miguna. Akiwa nini alikuwa anapiga mdomo, but the time alikuwa back akanyamaza. So I think this gava kuna wasenye nikawa na control serikali kwa venye tu wanataka, unaona? So unaona? Hivyo ndo venye naweza sema.
Alafu pia ukiangalia vizuri Andrew Kibe amesema Kenya ilimfanya akanyamaza na akatulia. Ni unapatana na the people wenye sasa wako wanakuambia nyamaza. But I realize form so kunyamaza, you lied to me. I'm seeing it happening. I was making noise, nikaambiwa ni nyamaze. But now I'm given the freedom to come and shout and kila mtu atasikiza. Why not? He's taking the opportunity. So sahi, it's about time we stop all this nonsense of nyamaza and go down and you are going down. That is not happening.
Ni ukweli bana, hii government ufanya mbaya. Ukiona venye kama sisi majenzi, the thing that you depend on ni social media. This government doesn't fund us in any social media. Haitumi hata do, haitubai kamera, phone haitubai. Ukisikia sahi wanakama wanachukua tax. Jumi najuanga, for you to tax something, you must support that business. Ndio uchukue do kutoka hapo. Gava kuna venye wanatupatia platform hata si yao, zenye tunapost.
Unajua kitu fani ni nini? Some of these materials that we need for this content, unaona, they're imported. Alafu unataka kuongeza levy on importation of the cameras and everything, the good qualities, which you don't have them locally. And content creators are working hard to be able to afford the money for them to go and import these things. If they import them, you have taxed them so high. And on top of it, once they come and they make money from it, you want to tax them. At the end of the day, I feel like the government does not even get to consider the amount of money, the amount of time, the amount of people, as every other person. When you say to na hour to kwa screen, hatujui how many people have been behind that camera, how much they have paid for that location, how much they have paid to afford that camera, how much, and hizo vitu zote zenye wame put in for them to get this money, and then unakuja nataka kumwambia unamuongezea tax. And this person, as a young entrepreneur, because I'm employ watu for him to do that content, what are you even doing? At least there is employment for the youth. Mtu akianza kufire the people who he is working with, what do you want? Creating an employment.
Unajua then kitu yenye gava nibo, how can you tax someone kama uja create that employment of being taxed? Unaona, then si hata kutax, wana increase do ya kutax. Si hatukatai kutaksiwa na gava.
Ebu kwanza angalia, alafu unajua ile kulamba watu yenye alitumia last year. Oh, we are taking from the people who are employed and giving it to the people who are not employed. How are you paying? Tulikuwa tunalipa NSSF, NHIF, sijui 200, sijui 350, 400. To now we are paying 2,000 and stuff. Alafu watu wakanyamaza. Sasa sahi, hiyo watu waliingia box, walitulia. Sasa sahi tunakuja kuingia the same thing.
Then aliingia tena mambo ya house levy. Anakata do ya nyumba. Na hata do ya nyumba, hata nyumba nika iliacha kutengenezwa.
Wewe hataacha nyumba.
Jamaa anatugonga.
Wewe umesikia tuna launch gani? Let me tell you something. I'm not comparing, but in Uhuru's parliament, we had affordable housing.
True.
And say all this affordable housing are pending. Those projects are stagnant. Why? Go finish up those projects.
And Uhuru
come and do the same thing. Hakuwa
anatukata do na those projects were there.
People were willing to buy those houses.
Enzi ya Moi kulikuwa na hizi nyumba, because mimi pia nimeishi kidogo Jeri. Jeri hizo nyumba za Moi zilikuwa za gava.
Sindio?
Na gava zilitengeneza kwa watu wa serikali.
My whole life I've grown up. You are say wenye mnatambua Nairobi vizuri. If you know Landi, hiyo place hapo hivyo release. Hizo nyumba zote from Rally to Landimawe to Mdura to Makadara, hiyo place yote Kaluli. Hiyo place yote na kuangala nyumba za gava. And these houses were given to government employees. So sasa hii hizi stories za unakuja unataka kubomoa, you're not even having a conversation with the people. Unaimake ni kama sisi ndo governor, sisi ndo tumesema. At the end of the day, we are the people you are serving. Come sit us down. Come have a conversation with us. Tuambie tunabomoa hii side, tujenge this particular house. Unajua kitu fani ni nini? Hii story venye inakamna kifua mingi inamaanisha you're actually trying to hide something.
True.
Unaona, mbona if I'm actually coming to make a good deal with you, I'll just call you, sit down, I want to make a deal with you. This and this is what I want to do, and this utabenefit hivi, nitabenefit hivi. But if nikikuja na kiburi na kwambia hapana anafanya, inamaanisha there's something I'm hiding. There's no benefit you're getting.
Yes,
and that's what they're trying to hide.
But it's okay. Vitu naambia tu prezo bana, sikizia Wakenya Kenya wanataka kufanya. Unaona? Like Gen Z sasa ndio tuko wengi Kenya. Si ati uongo.
Our population is for millennial and Gen Z, it's approximately 55% of the It's more than half the population.
So Prezo anafaa acheze kadi zake safe.
At this point hakuna kucheza kadi safe. Hakuna kucheza kadi safe. Because at the end of the day, for the longest time, people used tribalism, people used all these things to try and divide the nation.
True.
But there's one thing which you are seeing right now.
Unit.
We don't care about tribalism. We don't care about where you're coming from. And we don't care if you are, I don't know, from, we don't care about all that. All we care about is the well-being of our people. And at this point, you can't use any form of weapon to come and try and divide these people. Because we have the power of social media in terms of connecting the numbers and making the numbers come together. Naona. So sahi kadenye amejaribu kupull for the longest time. You remember the time you were having an interview, I think, with someone who was talking, well, you can't tackle the president. No. Back then it was chini. And the people who were doing it were, I think, at a Generation X. Having a meeting somewhere, and then people are heckling the president. Then it's like, shut up, you can't tackle the president.
True.
Right
it
now.
It was in Bungoma.
Yeah, it has happened in very, even
and they were arrested.
Central.
Then the CS of Kindiki of security ndiye alikuja ka arrest those guys.
Ndio hiyo, it has been, ilikuwa imeanza kuchemkia watu polepole mkiwaeka chini.
Akimwambia uongo.
Sai imefika to a point you can't control this anymore. Actually, there is this one MP who stood in parliament na audacity at this is not happening, this is fake, they're trying to use fake photos and videos.
Imagine, it was KJ. Tunasema to the name because it's on record.
Are you okay?
There's nothing that you are hiding.
Are you
tunasema
okay?
Ukweli.
Were you even
the
serious?
KJ, the MP of Dagoretti South, this guy, and what pains me the most, this guy has been in content creation. Amekuwa kitambo kwa content creation with people like Churchill. Then this guy ndiye anakuja anatupiga vita, anasema ati alikuwa photo editor kitambo, that is a Photoshop. How can you do that to Kenyans?
By the time you say such a thing, unamaanisha sisi si ni AI, we are AI generated. Sisi wote tulala kwa nyumba, AI generation ikatutoa, ikatupeleka town, ikaturayotisha, ikaturudisha, hadi mmoja wetu akawa wengine wanakufa, wengine wanaumia.
It was very sad bana kusikia. By the way, RIP Rex Masai, it was very sad kusikia sai polisi wameamua anachukua live bullet. And those people that were protesting, they were very, very innocent.
I feel like at this
hakuna mse mwenye alikuwa na weapon. Ukiona mse ambeba maji yake, by the way, I was part of it. Kulikuwa na mse watu wamebeba tu maji yao, just walking pole pole bila maneno mengine, ilikuwa maji, mask na simu. Nothing else.
I feel like at this point in time, hata police wanafaa kurealize we are not coming to fight them.
Yeah.
There is no need for you to open tear gas and you are the one making the chaos.
Yeah.
Because unajua nini? Tungetembea, tungezunguka town, tungeimba, tunge nini, nye tufikisheni, tumefika mbele ya parliament, hamtaki tuingie, simameni hapo, mtungoje, mtuambia muingie hapa. Full stop.
Yeah.
No. Because at the end of the day, we are suffering with you guys. All these injuries that you are seeing, we are not happy to see our own policemen because these are our parents getting injured, getting a lot of cases happening to them. Why is it happening? Why are you getting injured? Why are we getting injured? We are in the same country, we're fighting for the same thing.
Kama unaona ule polisi mwenye alipoteza mkono because of hapo, kulikuwa na polisi fulani alikuwa anawaambia wacha, but the police was just there anataka kufire tear gas kwa innocent people, just standing. Police ako kando yake anamwambia wacha, but jamaa ako busy. Nini limfanyikia?
We're not fighting
back
against
to the
each
sender.
other. Yes. We're not fighting against
back
each
to the
other.
Sender. Sasa wa Kenya hizi kuambia hata even sorry nini. Then the CS of tourism, that is Alfred Mutua, coming na anakuja anasema hapana. Anakuja anaanza kusema,
how do you even do that? How do you even do that?
Sad bana.
At this point, unajua what they're trying to do is bring blame game. Unajua kitu fani ni nini? At this point, you're not using opposition at the parliament. Yeah. We don't want opposition. We don't want the parliament. We don't want anything. Ati tukamati, ndo ana cause. We are not going to buy that card. Yeah. And because that is what you have been doing. Unaona, mmejaribu mdomo tamu, mmerealize it's not working. Ati sasa unakuja kuambia watu, I blame.
Surely.
It's not about, this is not a whole blame game. Because at the end of the day, why are you bringing your security people to come and pour iyo maji ya kuwasha watu kwa barabara? For what? Iyo tear gas unatupa for what?
And people are protesting bila maneno mob bana.
Hata hawezi wanatumwa kuharibu biashara za watu for what?
Hata imagine hakuna biashara ya msenye iliharibiwa.
No any business. Ujana ile nyo alisema hata tukiangalia tunauliza hili happen saa ngapi, because during the protest everything was okay.
Kuna kitu yenye ilifanyika.
Alafu afterwards ndo tunaona
vitu zinafanyika.
Umeona ule mwizi alishikwa, alipigwa mob, alisema tafadhali nisameheni. mimi ni mwizi kama nani? Mimi sisemi maneno. Unajua, at this time you have to realize it's not the same time when tulikuwa wakati wa Moi. Wakati wa Moi you wouldn't even stand up and say anything negative towards the government. Now we're at a time where we have the freedom and we are realizing the power that the constitution is giving us as the people. And we're not ready to be taken down. So, Sai, it's getting the numbers as many as we can. And fighting for what we know is right.
Correct.
For ourselves. And I'm sure, Sai, as Gen Zs, we are even looking at the potential. We are not just fighting for nothing. We actually are supposed to even start putting structures in place to make sure hakutakuwa na watu sasa wenye watatokea ati yo mimi ndo nakuwa leader. We don't want, we will choose the leader that we want.
Tumechoka bana, tumechoka, we are very tired. Kwanza tukiingilia historia ya Eric Omondi. Jana Eric Omondi unaona anakuwa arrested, wanampeleka Central Police Station. I saw the protest of Eric Omondi. Imagine it was just innocent. Kutembea tu, the guy didn't do anything. Yet the police walikuwa hapo, wanamuarrest. By the way, it was very bad. Uliona venye walimuarrest vibaya? Walimbeba juu wakamtoa kwa farasi wakamwangusha chini wakambeba. Bana, hii serikali bana, hapana, they are too much bana.
Wewe ujiulize, askari wangapi wamehesabu wamesurround mtu mmoja? Huyo mtu ana nini? Ana bomb, hana anything. One person mnamsurround
karibu wa polisi wa 10. Mtu mmoja.
That is not right. Unajua, they have ever made a video saying, actually I see the work that Eric Omondi does for the people out here on social media. And I made a video saying I wouldn't want Eric Omondi to join politics. And I stick to that statement in terms of I wouldn't want Eric Omondi to join politics with the systems that we have in place right now. Because the systems that we have in place are not going to allow any other person to work within the freedom that they need. If we change these systems, then this person are the people we are electing as our leaders, working within the right systems that can work. But with the systems that we have right now, utashikwa, utanyongwa, utawekwa chini. Meaning, all this good that you wanted to do, they won't be able to. Hizo vitu zote hazitakuwa able to happen. But if you actually have good systems and good structures in terms of hizi vitu zote, all these corruptions, all these things, sahi unajua bidii Kenya corruption imekuwa norm.
Iko mbaya.
Alafu kila mtu atakwambia African countries are not developing because of one thing or two things. We have very high taxes. And then we have very high level of corruption, meaning the money is coming from the taxes, it's getting to people's pockets. It's coming from the taxes, instead of even building anything, it's getting to people's pockets. No, meaning the systems that we have in place are not good at all. True. But if we get to have the systems that are in line and easy systems ziko sawa, hao watu wote wenye tunaona wanafanya kazi mzuri, sisi ndio tutakuwa hapo kuwa support, waendelee na the same work. True. But the systems that we have, the systems that we have been taught to have, they're not right. Tuende na story ya jana. Yesterday we were having a ceremony for a memorial for Fred Omondi, right? They have a Babu Nomba and everyone showing up. And definitely, our watu wote showing up, they are going to give money. You are giving 300,000, you're adding. Hiyo ni pesa ya wananchi. Na hizi pesa zote hamja account for. Utapata hii pesa ilikuwa isaidie sijui what part of ijenge sijui wapi, ndio imechukuliwa imewekwa kwa hii matanga. Hii imechukuliwa imefanywa hivi. Hiyo ingine mkikula hapo chini. Kumaanisha we also have to have the right systems. Alafu MC Jesse had the audacity to be standing there. MC Jesse, you had the audacity to be standing there. Ukijiona ni kama you are safe. You are not really safe. At the end of the day, you're not really safe.
By the way, I think that MC Jesse was trying to be smart. Because this was the same guy that was in the same government. He was supporting this government. So he knew that the audience...
I'm so happy.
He knew that this government wataki, this audience, wako wanataka nini, Ababu na Mwamba. So he tried to come up with something that audience wataweza kurelate na yeye na wakuwe na yeye in the same page. Unaona? So he learned the audience. So alikuja akapiga Ababu na Mwamba 10-0. Akakuja akapiga William Ruto. He embarrassed the president himself, but he did not embarrass him president. The president is a liar. That is the whole truth. Ni muongo. Vitu zenye mingi amesema hapo ni za uongo sana. He has been speaking lies. Vitu za uongo, kutenga.
Kutenga na kulaunch vitu hatuoni. Ati tunalaunch affordable house wajiri.
There's something I'll never forget. This guy went to aliendanga place fulani akalaunch railway station yenye ya kitambo bana. Something that he wasn't there. Akalaunch.
Sahi wewe mwenyewe ukifanya project hata umeweka stool kwa barabara Lazima uite chief mwenye yako kusaidia, hakufanya anything, uite sijui nani, uite watu wote wakuje hapo waonekane pia wana participate. You can't do it
the traveling president. Yani going to each and every country. But the thing that usually pains me, the president anatembea country zote but akuji atuambie what did you go to do there? Atuambi ametoka US. US unajua hata ni venye US ilitangaza kwa news wakasema they have given Kenya 1 trillion. The money imekuwa into action.
Giving us our money.
The money
Let me tell you something. I am saying this without fear of any contradiction. Let me tell you something. How much money do you think these people spend during campaigns for them to become elected in the seats?
Trillions.
How much money do you think a president will need? The deputy, the ease of ati tufike kwa MCA. These people spend a lot of money. Where do you think they get that money from? Where do you think they get that money from?
Where?
These people go to all those hizo countries zote ama uko wapi. They need money to fund their campaigns, and we as the Kenyan people, we have been taught to at a time ya campaign itakula 300, itakula 500. Huyo ndo wetu. Unaona? After all these things, we all are looking forward for elections because we know during the election time we get a lot of money. Around that time, you know the amount of money we lose they will lose a lot of money. A lot of revenue zenye zilikuwa zinafaa kwenda ku project zimesimama sasa. Tunafikiria campaign, tunafikiria kula 200. Mimi niko na sound system, mimi ni MC, mimi. Sisi wote tunafikirianga hizo vitu zote, tukule pesa kidogo. All these people and all these politicians need to get money. Acha nikuulize swali. Hiyo pesa yote swati wako nayo kwa mfuko. Wameenda maybe wametafuta companies, they have sponsored them. Why am I sponsored? For what? Do I just give you money for nothing?
No.
We all know we don't get money for free. So at the end of the day, these people will need a lot of money for them to campaign, for them to get the seats, and they will need to pay back that money. So one thing I know for sure, we as Gen Zs, if we put our structures and our systems in place vizuri, inamaanisha, we can have our own party with the people we support.
True.
These people will not need to go get loans, to go get partnership, to go get anybody for them to come and run an election, because they already have the people's support.
True.
We have other countries where the citizens are willing to come and fund the campaigns for all these people, for the people who are vying to become, for the candidates who are vying, right? What if we as Gen Z get our leaders? They don't need to get any loans. They don't need to kiss anyone's for anything, because they have the Kenyan support. If these people get in power, wanaenda kulipa loan gani waliomba wapi?
Hakuna.
Nani amemweka chini?
True.
They can actually
like people,
come and serve the people.
There's an MP that I would like to congratulate. They are doing an amazing job, na ni watu waliwachagua hapo without any fund, hakuwa na doyote. MP of Mumia is Peter Salasia bana. That guy is genuine. Tukikuja kwa Babu Owino, genuine. Millie Odhiambo, genuine. I think those are the only MPs that they are very genuine kwa bunge.
Huyu mtu Peter Salasia anakaanga Jokopai fly, si ndio? But go to that area, you'll hear the project which this person is ready to launch, the work which is ready to put in place. I might not stand here and speak the perfect English and be the most eloquent and articulative person mwenye anaongea vizuri, but when it comes to the role and the job that I need to do, I will do it wholeheartedly.
True. People like Babu Owino amepiga kazi safi sana. Tukiingilia hapo tunaingilia story na MP bana. On Thursday walituangusha sana. You know very well that wananchi wameikataa. Kitu inauma sana, wako kwa streets wana strike. Nyinyi mko huku 205 MPs are voting yes. Let me start about with my MP. I felt very sad. My 2 MPs waliniangusha at home na at urban. Yes, niliangushwa home and away. Karauri, that is the MP of Kasarani.
What party is that?
Independent. This guy was independent.
Sindio? Independent candidate. Did this person host a campaign during the election?
Yes.
Where did he get the money?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yes.
This person got money. This person was able to find his ninio. Mali ameketi sahi, as much as they are independent. Do you unadhani ameketi tu vizuri, alienda kila vitu zinaenda tu vizuri? All these people, acha nikwambie, let me tell you, even acha nikuulize swali sahi. Maybe kuna mali unaishi. Ujalipa rent mwezi ya kwanza. Landlord anakuambia itabidi uchangamke. Mwezi ya pili ujalipa rent. I come tupendane. niingie kwa nyumba nikwambia mimi nalipa rent for the next 3 months, hiyo deni na kila kitu. Next month unakuja kuniambia kama nani, who are you I came to this house, I paid your rent, you're about to be evicted.
Sure.
I'll have a lot of power over you because I'll be the person who has taken charge in terms of taking care of the bills. You'll have to have some level of humility under me. So that's the thing. We have people tumewaeka ati tunasema tuliwavutia wanatu represent. But these people kuna watu above them who made sure wameketi hapo. Akikupia 200, 300 akizungusha lori ati campaign. And those people wanamwangalia hivi hizi ongea.
Na mimi najiulizanga kwani this president of the Republic of Kenya huwa amepatia watu nini? Because they fear President William Samoei Ruto sana bana. What is the problem over there? They fear, yani you know that this thing inaenda kugandamiza Mkenya. But you are the first person mwenye unaipitisha bana. Then the president alikuwa na lame excuse before he finish ati anasema let's pass this finance bill so that watu wakuwe na stima. Surely.
Actually, the place where we are at in Kenya sahi, stima is not longer that big of an issue. We have
big
stima
issues.
In the rural area.
Watu wanalala njaa, unalia mambo ya stima.
Stima kwa
si Uhuru aliziweka.
First regime, hata so second first. Stima ilifika.
Uhuru aliziwekanga zile enzi zake. But this our president.
Unajua kunanga kitu mbaya kama fighting with a smart person. If you're having a conversation, ama if I'm trying to if you're trying to have a conversation with a very smart person, this person atakupiga 10-0 because anakusoma 10 steps ahead. And one thing I know for sure is that our president is not foolish. That man is a very wise man.
Sana.
And because of that, anajua how to play each and every person's card. Lakini the card yenye alijaribu kupull kwa wananchi ni nitawapiar. Nitawalamba vizuri na maneno matamu. Na hiyo sasa inakaa imeanza kumwagika na shake. Anavuta hivi na shake because we no longer want to hear the sweet words.
True.
So but sasa the people who are sitting in those seats, definitely nyinyi strings zenu ni mrefu sana. Kupull hizo zenu maybe ni so mzito kama hii ya wananchi, because you can't tell me you'll just control a population of around 54 million people hivyo tu rahisi. Hiyo itakuwa na some issues.
Itakuwa na sana bana.
So at the end of the day, amejaribu kupull strings because from his intelligence and everything. And we actually bought tukiambiwa I was a egg farmer and all that
na hata picha hakuna. The thing that ilini pain, I remember so well, very good, when nikisoma history, the grandfather of President William Samoei Ruto alikuwa na land tambo mingi sana. It is in history. Koitalel Arap Samoei was the grandfather of William Samoei Ruto. Wapi tushaiona picha of our president akiuza eggs? Wapi?
You're trying to give us I was from a very humble background.
Yes.
Which is something we can't really buy.
We can't.
Let me tell you, we can't really buy that for the longest time. And then kenye ina pain wa Kenya sana ni everything you criticized, everything you are really saying no to, that is exactly what you're doing, and you're doing even worse. So inakuwa ngumu for us to continue listening to you. Itakuwa ngumu because you lied today, you lied tomorrow, you lied the next day. And the reason why we are saying it's lies, it's because we don't see the results, we don't see the action. And one thing for sure, we can't deny the fact that tumeona cases mingi sana. And we as Kenyans sometimes tunakuanga ignorant. Because unaona kitu alafu unasema I'll just go with it. Unaambiwa hiki kitu ni wrong,
but unakimbia nayo.
All because one thing I know for sure, we all had very great expectations.
True.
And we all had given President William Ruto a lot of, tulikuwa ni kama tumempea hope. Anasema hiki kitu itawaka.
Unaona nika itawaka.
Unafeel part of you inakuambia aje, lakini uko like he got it. This man is smart, he got it ataleta. Lakini sasa imefika point we don't want to see or hear anything anymore. Tumeona imekuwa uongo. Hatutaki kusikia anymore.
The last thing that you can tell government hii time ya wakipitisha finance bill on Tuesday, what do you think may happen? Sahi wakisign na president aende apige sahi amue that this is now the official finance bill. What do you think is going to happen to Kenya? Like right now you have seen what the Gen Z can do without someone in charge of them. Unaona? What do you think? They have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose.
One thing I'll say for sure. One thing I'll say for sure. We as Gen Zs, we have already shown and we have already seen, and we are not the first country to have a revolution.
True.
So the best thing we can do is actually take a step and try and understand what other countries did, where they did right, where they did wrong, what we have done as Kenya from the past to now.
True.
And make sure we have very good systems in place. I know of all these countries, let's start even with Sudan and all these other countries, which had very good system of governance. Unaona? And after hii system yenu ya governance ilikuwa, mlisema ilikuwa mbaya, yes. We went on the streets, yes. We rallied, we said no. Sindio? After this governance was out, what has happened to those countries has been chaos and chaos and chaos, because kuna part moja walishindwa kufanya. Hawaku put in their people and their systems in place. When the army is coming to take over, when these people want to come and also get that seat, when all these people are coming to fight and fight and fight for this thing, which you all went out and said no to, inamaanisha mnaharibu. So one thing I know for sure we really need to do is start having systems in place, systems which are actually going to work. What I mean is having the people who we are nominating and the people who we know
they're going to fight for us.
We are putting them as our leaders.
True.
Akina Gaddafi, these people, Gaddafi seemed like a very main president, but angalia Kenya alifanyia watu.
But they want
people
like hata tuendelee story ya Rwanda. Ona Kenya, the president Paul Kagame anafanyia watu safi sana bana.
And what this president is doing, control hawa watu na the power of nimesema na nimesema. Anaisema na tunaona iki work for the good.
True.
If for example, we'll come and say, oh, maybe the people were against Gaddafi because of 1, 2, and 3. You have to realize their education level ilikuwa free education. Houses munapewa bure muishi. Naona. So sahi ukienda Rwanda, tunasikia Rwanda is illegal for you to throw a paper down.
Ina work.
Na ina work just because this leader, me in my opinion, I'll say hakukuja na kifua of like it's illegal and in a bad way, but put systems in place which are actually making things work. So that is what we need. One thing we need is a leader who is not bounded, mwenye ogopi nani atasema, nani atamsukuma, nani atafanya nini. Mtu mwenye tumemweka hapo sisi wenyewe.
Yes.
She doesn't care if kama unaona sasa hivi nyatu tunasema huyu mtu ndo anafund, maybe this person is funding this project for you. You have to leave. Akikwambia no, unaenda na no. But if we are the Kenyan people funding this person, akiona you are corrupt, asema you are fired. He doesn't care. True. What power or what influence you have.
Yeah.
You are fired because you are corrupt and what you are doing is not right. If you come and complain this system is not working, they will go with a lot of authority to say this is not working, we want it to work in this particular way. Because no one is pulling them, there's no string pulled from them. So one thing I'll say for sure, we as Gen Zs need to have our systems in place. We need to know, even if it's having a party, we need to be able to fund that party. We need to have committees of people who are pulling strings from the side. We need to use the fact that we have social media influencers on the ground. And these people have numbers following them. And then we get now to the grassroots level, to the village area. We have leaders from those areas who are going to be guiding our people from that side, who can't even be in the city for the revolution, but they are going to do it from their level. Na unapata hii party yetu itakuwa very well structured to the point if you are actually doing a revolution, tusipige nduru leo kesho amesign imeisha. Tutakosa kuenda kwa street, but we have systems which are working.
True.
And we know what we are working, and we know the goal that we are going for.
True.
That is the best thing we can do. Hizi stories ati unadhani utasema ati it was goons, they were thieves, they destroyed this building. Tunaweza amua leo tunaingia tu town na tukae chini barabara kila mahali. Because we have tulisema leo tunaanza map, tutaenda hapa, we go, we sit here. That is the goal of the maandamano. So anyone coming to throw tear gas, sawa tutakufa na hiyo tear gas kama tumeka. Why are you throwing tear gas to people who are seated down? Why are you throwing water to people who are seated down? Because we have systems which are working. Hakuna chaotic ati sijui nani alitoka wapi akalead wapi nini. So I feel like at this point and time we really now need to change our mindsets. Tuache kwanza expect that these politicians get money from miraculously for them to find their campaigns and do elections. And then after the elections we expect them to come and work for us. because no, that's not how it works.
True. By the way, you are saying the truth, because the politician who are doing job ni wenye walitumia do yao hata wakutumia do the campaign. Wakenya tu waliona this guy were doing a lot of job. Like nimesema Salasia, Babu Owino, Millie Odhiambo, those are the MPs that are doing a great work kwa wananchi. Yenye tu walipendwa, but there's people ni pesa yao iliwaingiza. Like my MP, I will not be staka nikikuja nikisema hapa nikimsifu nini. The guy has done totally nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hakuna since aingia is 2 years right now. The MP nimekuwa nikimpiga vita nini, but it's the truth. Jamaa amekuwa akifanya kitu wenye hakuna. In that alikuja akasema watu wenye huko kwetu hawakumchagua, atafanyia kazi watu wengine. It's on record akisema kitu kama hiyo.
Why will you even feel the confidence to come and say such a thing?
Surely, imagine.
Why don't you have leaders who watakuja atakwambia mimi nakuja matanga yako, umeniita hapa kama MP, lakini naenda kutoa 5,000 because that is the money I have from my salary and not 300,000 which was the, why are you getting that 300,000 from, which was the money which was supposed to go for I don't know where. Unajua what is funny, it's the fact that we are giving reports of audit reports showing that, for example, mliandika budget at Nairobi County needs this amount of money, alafu unaanza kuja kuniambia 90% of that money went to paying salaries. Sasa development itatoka wapi hapa? If 90% of the money going to counties, they are going to pay salaries because unajua ati huyu mtu alifanya watu wa kwao wakanichagua, lazima ni pay sijui na ni kazi kwa. What is that? What is that? At the end of the day, we need to have systems in place. It's better we have, usikuje kuniambia 90% of the money is going to paying salaries, but at least 70%, lakini 30 ilijenga hata public toilet.
Ni ukweli tuone. Mimi kitu tukimalizia, ni ndio unaweza ambia hapo majensi dakika ya mwisho tukimalizia.
Jensi tusiwache. At this point it's about time we get to be wise. If they are feeling just on finance bill, sawa, we have people who are the top who wenye sasa who are really law students and everything. What I explain to in the let me say simple, explain it to the younger generation wenye hawaizani na hiyo kizungu mingi nyo mnaandikanga articles ngapi. Come and explain it to this people, to our people in the simplest ways.
True.
That way we understand what is happening and we know what you're fighting for.
Okay, na tunaweza sema Gen Z this time tuchukue kura bana. Juu umeona kenye imefanyika, you have seen what is happening kwa ground. While we were small tulikuwa na complain sana tukiona mzee hajakuja na chakula kwa nyumba, we were crying. Asubuhi hajakuja na mkate, mnakunywa chai hivyo, you are crying. But right now it's good that you are seeing the reason why it was tough and this time is tough kwa sisi wenye tulikuwa wadogo tutakuwa wakubwa, na hata sisi kuna wenye wanatufuata tunawapigania, and we are going to fight this movement until the end. Hatutakufa moyo, we are going to do this for our next generation. Hatutakubali tufanywe hivi na 205 people kutupangia maisha, yet those guys know that this thing is very very bad.
True.
Na tunakubali those MPs that voted yes those MPs that voted yes for this finance bill, Mungu anawaona.
That's what I can say. Story boycott. Unajua nini? Let's have systems in place. That's all I can say. Let's have our systems in place. Millennial population, Gen Z population is enough.
True.
And if our systems are in place, mnaona, in terms of if we know, tunasema tunachukua kura tunavote, hiyo hata haina pingamizi. Hautakuja kuniambia, utakuja kunishangaza unaniambia ati we have voters this amount, alafu hii vote yako unaniambia where are you getting these numbers from?
True. Because
our systems will clearly be in place. Ukiangalia the people supporting this side hata uwezi ongea. Hii ni ile time yenye unajua kitambo ati voting used to make line. Ushaona line hadi unasema tu enda ameshinda. If we have our systems in place, in terms of tunajua huyu ndo mtu tunasupport, huyu ndo mtu tumefanya, huyu mtu hata we are going to give things for them to be able to work.
True.
Everything will go well. So the thing I love the most is the fact that we have social media right now, which is making things easy for us to work and have everything working vizuri. So let's until
next time,
I wish I had the power.
Over.